Yowza! It is wild out there. Not much of a surprise if you followed the astrology of this time, because something pretty amazing and transformative has occurred in the last 8 months. First, a bit of background. The outer planets have very long orbits, while the inner ones zip around the sun relatively quickly, with Mercury taking only 88 days, for example. Jupiter's orbit is 11 years, while distant Pluto takes 248 years to complete one cycle around the sun. That's why these planets are often referred to as generational planets, particularly Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, because they not only influence individuals, but affect society as a whole. As a planet orbits, it moves through the various zodiac signs. And when they're in one of these signs, they take on the particular signature of that sign, as though the hue of a stained glass window that they're shining through. What's remarkable about the time in which we live is that in just 8 months, every outer planet, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, have all changed signs. This is not merely rare, but from what I've read from others who know far more than I do, it's never happened before. It takes a while to find our sea legs when just one of these planets changes signs, given how different the energy is. But with all of them shining through new panes in the stained glass window of the cosmos, it feels particularly disorienting, chaotic even. That's what we're seeing and feeling now. It is said that the Chinese word for crisis is the same as opportunity. Not exactly true, but close. Wei Ji is made up of two characters. The first, Wei, means danger. The second, Ji, means incipient moment or turning point. We are clearly at one of those turning points now, which can indeed be an opportunity, but only if we make it so. We have options. We can sink into hopelessness and despair, or avert our eyes from what's occurring, thus shrinking our hearts. We can meet external hate with hate of our own, or become paralyzed by fear. Each of these reactions is understandable, and we may cycle through every one of them. Yet if we are to do our part, we can't live in any of these. How do we find a proactive response? The answers are as varied as we are. I'll tell you what I'm doing. First and foremost, I've beefed up my spiritual practice, meditation, ceremony, opening to guidance. Not only does this keep me true to my own perspective rather than swallowing whole the collectives, I hope it also offers a channel for light to flow through. I employ my good mind as it was meant to be used, as helpmeet of the soul. I regularly zoom out to see the larger picture through the lens of the eternal now. While the rise of fascism is indeed chilling, its seeds have been with us and inside us forever. They are always present tense. As Adrienne Marie Brown famously put it, things are not getting worse, they're getting uncovered. Even more important, I celebrate the nowness of other seeds, seeds of justice and humanity, of courage and sacrifice, of kindness and love. As Thich Nhat Hanh urged us to do, I repeatedly commit to watering those seeds in myself and others. That said, I have increased my level of political engagement. I've set up small, rather painless monthly contributions to organizations who fight the good fight and have committed to making one call daily to my representatives. Thank goodness for the 5 Calls app, which I've linked down below. After I got my system down, it really only takes a couple of minutes. I also attend protests to add my voice to others speaking truth to power. Whatever I do, I try not to worry over much if I will make a difference. Parker Palmer cautions that if we measure our actions solely on effectiveness, we are apt to become discouraged and give up. He suggests we use faithfulness as our gauge instead. Being faithful to the gifts given me and expressing them in the world as it is, not as I wish it to be, is my job in anything I do. Such is the art of being human. This is an intense time, but I'd go even further than that. I think the vast majority of us are triggered these days. Certainly, our brothers and sisters who are losing their jobs or health insurance are. Those being deported or detained without due process are. The intensity of weather patterns attests to the fact that the earth herself is triggered. Triggering just is, and we must find positive ways to respond. We stand at the threshold of an unknown future. We don't, though, stand there alone. Those outer planets stand on thresholds of their own, all of them still at the beginning degree points in their new signs. And they're shining their light on us through the energy of those signs, offering us the raw material from which to craft our unique response to this time. The cosmos supports us always, especially when the tectonic plates beneath our feet are shifting. If we could fast forward like in one of those time-lapse videos, I think we'd see a landscape revised. But that's not happening in the distant future. It is happening right now. And we get to see it, to engage with it, and to decide what role we will play in this unfolding we are privileged to be part of. I close with a prayer for us all, a call to action, if you will. As Jupiter, the planet of expansion, shines through the heart-centered sign of Cancer, may our love of self, others, country, and life itself grow more vibrant. May rabble-rousing Uranus in adaptable and curious Gemini break us free of old perspectives, thought patterns, and communication styles. May Saturn, the planet of inner authority, and transcendent Neptune, both in passionate, confident Aries, help us step forward in a purposeful way as we passionately express our cosmic insights. And may Pluto, the planet of deep rebirth residing in humanitarian Aquarius, help us play our part in transforming the collective energy of the planet as we shine our light in our own unique way. Amen.